Hey everyone, it's Sonya here with Fresh Approach Fitness, a wellness company. I am your accountability coach. I work with ambitious entrepreneurs, taking their life from unbearable to unstoppable as you learn how to keep the promises that you make to yourself. Because you and I both know that typically, as a mom, as an entrepreneur, we are never first on our list. And I'm here to help you flip that script 100%. So today we have a special guest with us. Her name is Jane. And we're going to start off with introductions and then do what we normally do and just get to know one another right here live in front of everybody. Now, actually, I just said live, but we're recording this one, so it's going to be posted later this week. But I am super excited to bring Jane on the show. Jane, say hello.
Hello. Thank you, Sonya. I am so delighted to be here, to be hanging out and chatting with you. My name is Jane Morba. I live in New Jersey. I love Las Vegas. That's one of my sacred spots. But I am also a feminine empowerment coach, also help people with their health and their wealth in a bigger way, grow teams, and to be more visible. One of my secret sauce is to encourage women to get on video, be more visible, and build relationships. So that is really my strong point. Those are the things I do, and I'll share a little bit more kind of my backstory about that, how I came into that. But I'm in midlife. I like working with women, from 40 to 60. And I love digital marketing. And that's where Sonya and you and I met. We met in a group and you had a really cool post and I just reached out. I know we were aligned and here we are. So
awesome. Awesome. And this is just, guys, we're just scratching the surface, but
yeah.
Did you not pick up on Jane's enthusiasm for life and for what she wants to do in terms of what she does do in terms of empowering women, empowering people, and empowering women, and correct me if I'm wrong, but empowering women is just the beginning of empowering people, because women empower people. We are the center connection, and we always have been. We're the central hub of any relationship. So I am so looking forward to learning more a little bit about you, Jane. But let's start with exactly what you just said. We met on a Facebook group. Jane reached out to me, I believe, or maybe I reached out to her. You're gonna correct me here. Jane, one thing I need to share with you is I am a ping pong talker. I have coined that phrase. So what that means is don't feel like you need to wait your turn. If your intuition speaks, go ahead and pipe up and share. We're going back and forth as if we're having a genuine conversation. We're just going to share this conversation with the world. So I loved what you did. And too many of us hold ourselves back in different ways. We see things, we watch other people live their lives, but we don't reach out, we don't say hi, or we sit there in haste and judgment, right? So do you recall by any chance the post that you responded to?
Yeah, actually, it was your morning post, your morning routine. You were sharing yourself by your outdoor studio, by the pool, and this is what your morning routine was. And you're sharing your day, your bit of sunshine, and you're wishing everyone a happy day. But like, what is your routine? So you were having a conversation, and you had a lot of hashtags. And I said, oh, this woman is definitely on top of her game and her marketing, which I love, and her process. And so you were having a genuine conversation, and you said, reach out, and or if this resonates, connect. And I said, oh, I have to reach out to you. And I thought we were in this kind of cool psychology of women entrepreneurs group. It was about 2,000 people. It's a kind of a mellow group, but it's very fluid with people sharing, and that's the one that stood out for me. And I said, let's have a conversation. Then we had a conversation. I just knew you can support women so much, with their marketing and their process of being visible. And that's what I'm all about. So we were aligned. See, we were aligned. I could have looked at you as a competition, but that's not the game right now. The game is to collaborate, to be in collaboration with other women entrepreneurs. So that's why I stepped in and said that we have to get on I'd like to meet you. I would like to meet you.
You're going to meet me, and there's a side story to that we're going to talk about afterwards. But because Okay, I'll say it right now.
Yeah.
We're actually, for those that have been following my podcast, you know that our youngest son, Nathan, has received a football scholarship. And we are actually moving him to New Jersey this weekend. And that's where Jane is from. So there's a small chance that we're going to be able to connect. And we're only there for 3 short days this time. But I know my youngest daughter wants to go to New York to a show. So hopefully Jane and I will be actually able to meet in person and exchange hugs. How does that sound?
That sounds great. You know,
I
like
have a feeling though that it's going to be more than just a hug and a see ya. You know, but
you never know. I know that on a highway or some town, or we can make it happen. Let's see. Well, we'll talk about that for sure.
we'll talk about that.
That's great.
But here's the thing, and you mentioned a couple of cool points. And before we go too far in today's show, I do need to say 2 seconds ago, my grandson came in here and I thought I was going to have to say, oh, Jane, you're taking over. I am going to prefix today's call. And we both talked about this off camera. I do have my grandson here with me today, Hudson. So some of you are going to be able to meet him if you do catch this on YouTube a little bit later. So those that listen to these podcasts, when I do these heart to hearts, and that's what these are heart to hearts when I'm meeting with people face to face and we're recording and putting them up. There is a video version that will be uploaded to Zoom, which Jane will be able to cross market as well. And this is what a collaboration looks like. Jane also mentioned that she has her mom at the house. And is it your mom? Use your mom.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. She's a very pretty vibrant 92-year-old. I'm so proud of her. And I keep her kind of on these nice shakes. I keep her on shakes and probiotics. So I think I've actually enhanced her health as well. And so, yeah, you know, this is conscious living. You know, we're all, you know, intergenerational living, right? I think that's what's going, you know, that's so clear. And we're working from home. And, you know, that's why being an entrepreneur is so really vital, because we can work from home. We can control our own lives. And I think we're motivated. You're motivated. I'm motivated. I'm so lit up about having more women come on this journey. And we know that this is the movement, you know, obviously to, you know, make money this way. So
yeah, come on this journey and really own who they are, because as a society, we've been told our whole life to separate personal and professional.
yeah.
And you and I are pioneers, and we're not the only ones, don't get me wrong, but we're in an era where we're pioneering this new era, this new lifestyle of blending personal and professional, making life real. We are literally designing our life our way.
Right.
Literally. And for you, that includes your 92-year-old mom. For me, this includes helping out my family wherever it takes. Like whether my parents might show up, I have an open door policy. It's open during the day and they walk in. And sometimes I'm on a call and sometimes it's, hi, Dad. And in this case, it's Hudson because my daughter isn't feeling well. She's been sick and he just found himself a sucker. I left him with a banana and he came back in here with a lollipop. Thank you, Pumpkin. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. And Jane, you had mentioned something very, very empowering that I don't want to let slide. And that is too many women, especially, see one another as competition.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good point. And I want to say what part of my personal growth is lately is really paying attention who my leaders are, who my upline is, and really emulate them because they are successful, and to step into their shoes and model what they're doing, and be humble enough to grow and learn and step into personal growth. And I know you're very into personal growth, which is getting out of our comfort zone and you know, reaching into not letting go of people's expectations. I know you talk about that a lot in your podcast. Letting go of people's expectations, you know, follow new leaders, get on a great team. This is the consciousness. I mean, if you know, I was a photographer before, I was doing time for money and I was so burnt out, but I knew when I stepped into more yoga, more personal growth, more team playing, collaboration, it was where I wanted to go, it's where I wanted to land. So I am in that process now in personal growth to do that. And it's been a journey. And you know, like we love, you know, teachers like Tony Robbins, and if you think about his kind of book, his first book or so, The Awakened Giant, and I was like, some of my leaders say, remember to listen to that, remember to like know the concepts, because the concepts of Awaken the Giant, and I just want to share this with the audience, with your audience, guys. I want everybody to get like some little reminder, takeaway is, there are a couple of 3 points in that I wanted to share it. I just had this
Please,
intuition, is
yeah.
the Awaken the Giant within could be good audio book to walk to, right? Those type of things is, when you want to make a change, I'll tell you the 3, but when you want to make a change, you got to raise the standards and believe you can meet that new standard. And then when we make the change in our belief system, we develop a new certainty, that we're so certain that this is going to be the new change. We're going to have a new standard. And then the third is, and it's not what we do once in a while, but it's what we do consistently.
Oh
And
my
that's
gosh.
great.
It's like you're
this is,
tapping into me,
I'm
because
tapping
that's
into you, because that's where you showed up, and you're like, this is my routine. Well, this is about visibility for all of us. This is our TV show, like, and so you're a great model. I think you're actually more of a visibility model too. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, how, and then for the audience, let's be more visible. Let's get on video. Do what Sonya's doing, these behind the scenes, and and I think we could support more women like that. And then it's more attractive marketing. It's attraction marketing. And that's where we're getting more clear. It's not that spammy type of marketing. We need to show a little value of, this is our products and this is what we're doing, but our behind the scenes. So I just want to share that with you.
you know what? So no, Jane did not know this, because I have not gone live. So the live that she's talking about the last 2 years now, and I remember this conversation with a coach the year COVID started. And a coach had said to me, you know what, you need to go live. And because I was trying to fill people for my weight loss challenge. And he's like, you need to go live. And I'm like, well, how often? He's like, every single day until the challenge. Well, that started a new beginning for me. I sucked it up, because of course we're all a little camera shy. And you just mentioned this with the Tony Robbins thing, we need to set that standard, reach it, and then move that needle. So we're always growing, because this is the old school paradigm, right? Let's talk about the old school paradigm. The way we were all, I need another pen to talk with, apparently. I just hit a dog with my pen. But the way we were all raised is to go to school, to spend the 20 years or so in some sort of formal education system. Then, maybe a few more years, then have a career, then, have your kids, or maybe your marriage first, ideally. I mean, I didn't do it that way, but whatever. Well, I did get married first, but I was pregnant first. But anyways, side story. Then you have your family, and you get 2 weeks vacation a year, and you're working for those 40 to 50 years. And then you can retire and start to begin to enjoy your life. But when retirement comes, and most people don't have this conversation, most of us don't know what our hobbies, habits, passions are. We have not picked up a book since that 20-year span from when we were in college or university, or whenever we were told to, unless it's a storybook. If you're a reader, most people aren't readers. Now, thanks to technology, that's changed a little bit. But for the most part, most people still don't finish a book. So, like Tony Robbins is saying, when we get to that new level, there's a new devil that we have to face, a new challenge. We are uncomfortable. The world is going to conspire against us. It's going to feel like the world is conspiring against us. But with the ongoing personal development, with the ongoing routine, with the ongoing change and challenges that we are comfortable facing, because we know it's only going to help us grow. When we are learning, we are growing. When we are growing, we are living longer. So when we're talking back to that retirement story, most people sit around and do nothing at that point in their life, because they were never taught any different. But now we've got this new era of people, you and I, for instance, and people in our network, and people in our network, and at this point, international people that are like-minded. Most of us are still digging for people in our area where my contacts, my clients might be across the world. right? Because I have grown so much that now they have grown so much, we're attracting at a different level because we're always learning and growing. I don't fear retirement now. I don't fear weekends. I don't fear weekdays. All of that is shifted because I know I am designing my life my way. I know that I am the CEO of my life, the Chief Energy Officer.
Oh, I
Ha!
love that.
You love
I
that?
love that. Yeah, it's very feminine, you know, it's
But
that's very
yeah,
feminine. Yeah. Mm,
but think about it. We are the CEO of our lives, but we've been living our whole lives as if we're not.
mm. Yes,
So
we are, and that's where the health and wellness is. It's like we're in the business of health and wellness, but it's the energy, and we're really sharing that energy of health and wellness and claiming our lives again. That's why it's so exciting as entrepreneurs and what you're doing in that way, right?
like,
Taking
and we're always
claiming a new paradigm, isn't it?
we are
Yeah.
we are we're resisting what no longer works, and
Mhm.
we are pushing past those boundaries because we want to live a fulfilling life all the time.
Yeah, I'm
Not
glad.
not for 60 years.
Yes, yes, I'm glad you said that because it's really out of the box. It's like infused with expression, creativity, not being judged, letting go of that judgment because that's just an illusion, right? Like who's judging us, right? And that's none of our business. We should be in expression. This is what we're doing. That's where I've talked about this before. Like you said, we're not competition. We're supporting each other, and then we're building teams, and we're making money, and every video should be about making money too. Let's get down to it because there's that call to action. There's a formula. It's about inviting people in to work with us and
But it
globally.
starts it starts with an action that you took, which led us to where we are today.
Mm,
I said reach out. Well, how many, and yes, I've been doing this for years. How many of my posts, if we go back and look at, people don't reach out, people
oh,
don't comment, people don't do this. You're actually delivering free information to an audience,
mhm.
and in response you're getting crickets, which the people that are absorbing the information, kudos, good. But do you realize that without any comment or feedback, the person that's providing that information, yes, they're serving, but they have no idea at all
Mm,
unless you say something, unless you reach out, unless you take some sort of inspired action.
mm,
So, and I will reach out to somebody and say, wow, I loved your post, or great comment. Even if I'm sharing or whatever it looks like, if I find it inspirational, I will reach out and let them know. I will comment. And not everybody does that, and that's totally cool. But here's the thing. All it took you was a quick message for you and I to say, yes, let's collaborate. Let's hop on a call and get to know each other
mhm.
before we decided on collaborating. Let's see if our energy is connected. There are so many people out there that just shut people down because they think it's some sort of spam or some sort of cut and paste message or some sort of, if you're aligned with that person, let it go. Stop with the judgment and hop on that call and feel their energy, because their energy, that's their soul's way of connecting with your soul.
Yeah, well, that's beautiful. That's very intentional. You're coming from the heart, and um, I just think that's a really great place to be. To being open, and you're really transparent. I mean, it's beautiful. It's hard for me,
Well,
to
let's be
say,
more
like, it's
transparent.
very.
Jane messaged me to confirm the appointment, and I was with the client. So, guys, I've been up since 6:30 this. No, I've been up
Bet.
since about 5:30 this morning.
Mhm.
I went to the bathroom, went back to bed, thought I'd go back to sleep. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second here. I think he's coming my way. And I did my meditation, and then I got a call from my daughter saying, or I checked my phone, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, she messaged me saying, you need to go get him. She's been sick for 2 days.
Oh, oh,
So
oh, well, yeah.
I am showing up on this, and I am not proud to say that I have not yet showered.
Yeah.
But I spent time with the client, and I am here with you, and I've done my affirmations. I have done my meditation. I've not yet done my reflections. I am drinking a shake right now just to get something in me. But this is life. This is the life I would not trade for the world.
Yeah, yeah, and I admire you for that. I know you have children and grandkids, children and you're juggling it, and this is life. This is what we're doing. And I'm so, it's really about getting also, I feel like even that Tony Robbins vibe, it's like getting on the other side of the pain. There, you either go towards pain or pleasure. We have to keep moving towards what's painful so we can get to what we really want and desire. And I'll keep talking here. It's that place of anything occurs when we get beyond that place of it's too painful, but we must move through that pain to get to the pleasure and the desires of what we want. I think it's so valuable as women leaders to really challenge ourselves in that way all the time. Like, let's keep pushing through. Like today, let's challenge ourselves to do like a video challenge, every day, up the ante and things like that. So, let's stay committed to the vision, committed to the decisions. Decide if you truly decide you want something, it's going to be on the other side of where we're at. And to collaborate with women like Sonya and I are doing right now, and change the path, focus on the decisions. And you asked me that question, collaborating with women, like I look up to my women leaders, and I get fuel from that, like, oh, I it's going to inspire me more. So you've done that for me. I thought you were really had a great link tree. I'm like, oh, she's so inspiring. So it's this constant invite, this constant being available, and you're saying intentionally being available, and it comes down with the marketing strategies too, as well. So we're so lucky we have that. We're in the age of such great availability on the internet to work it.
And I loved how you just said, like, first of all, Jane just picked up my slack there when I was dealing with Hudson because he found a squeaky toy from one of the dogs. But I'm going to tell you this right now. My youngest daughter is going to absolutely tear a piece off me because I just stuck him in her room. But you know what? She's 20. She's going to be sleeping. If you're going to be living at home, you can deal with your nephew.
Yeah. You have to delegate, right?
I didn't tell her, so I'm going to hear about it later. But maybe I have to go to Tim Hortons and do a coffee run for her to make up for it.
Yeah.
But you had said something about intention. Living intentionally, but with boundaries. And that is the key right there. So there's so much you and I are going to be able to talk about that I know we're going to do a part 2 interview because I'm already so excited. Good. And it's just going to go to different elements, but bringing this all together so far, it's finding inspired people in your life that help you grow to the best version of you. Because where you're at right now is a part of your process. And like Tony Robbins had said, like you had mentioned earlier, where you got right now, if you were to look back, Jane, would you recognize the person you are today?
Actually, no. If I look back at my life, I was much more looking for validation, maybe looking for validation or so. Now I'm single. I'm not looking for like male validation. I'm on a single focused journey right now of success, of monetary success, to have like a life that it's really truly satisfying and who I am with. So I don't recognize myself. I actually look back on pictures and I'm like, I am the healthiest I've ever been at 60. And so I'm really excited for the future. Like the next 6 months should be like unbelievable. Like even this next month is going to be unbelievable because I'm taking it up a notch here. So I'm super excited about fulfilling my goals and, like you said, time mapping, getting all those things really in order and getting on calls. Like structure is probably one of my dharma karma things that I have to really, anchor onto, structure. I'm a pretty creative, fluid person, but structure is probably like something I have to really, really dial in this lifetime. Yeah.
Well, and so a couple things there. Structure is maybe not made up with part of your human design, and it might not be part of your energy type. And this is something, especially the energetic energy type piece, I talk a lot more about when I do my Essentially You workshop, which is a free workshop that I deliver. I will be doing another one in a couple of weeks, I think. I don't have the date mapped out yet, but I do have that link on my link tree. And when you learn more about your energy type and you infuse your life with that person that you are, that validation piece that you just said you've let go of, that most people are in search for, not only does it disappear, it becomes a distant memory.
Ooh, I love that.
Okay. And here's why. Because you start stepping into your truer version of you. You own, so you don't see it's kind of like you own your shadow. You own your darkness. So you had mentioned structure, and I am a type 1 energy, and I'm not going to dive too deep into this right now, but a type 1 energy, they talk with their hands. A type 1 energy, they have apple cheeks, and they're animated, they're bubbly, they're fun, they're joyful. However, that also seems on the contrast that they can be flighty. People don't take them seriously because they're all about fun, right? So if you add structure to that, it's got to look different for a type 1 person. I can get all of the things done, but if I'm not having fun, it's a totally different experience. So I will find fun in life. So this morning when I drove half an hour each way to go pick up Hudson at 7 o'clock in the morning, I listened to a book. So I did my personal development already because that was fun and motivating for me. Then I listened to Coco Melon and fun songs on the way back because I had them with me. Right? So when you learn a little bit more about that, could you imagine what it would be like to have that former version of you to be so distant that you can't even remember bits and pieces of her?
Oh, that is really great. Yes, like you're anchoring and visualizing the person you are, you desire to become, and that other person is just a distance memory, and you can do it with love. Do it with love and honoring and respect, and just keep, anchoring into who you desire to be. It's kind of like that Joe Dispenza type of work, isn't it? A lot of that affirmational work.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And
You just, yeah.
you're creating the habits
Yeah.
that are building the new you. And this is what I was going to say. Like when you had mentioned Tony Robbins, you brought that up. When I do my Facebook lives, and I do them on other platforms, I just don't go live on the other platforms. I share them. So, and I haven't done today's yet, just the nature of the day. Normally they're done in the morning time. I have a theme: Motivational Monday, Transformation Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday, Thankful Thursday, and Check-in Friday. So today is Wellness Wednesday, and today I'm talking about habits and having the success and the results, the habits. I'm watching him. He just found himself in the mirror, and I don't know if he grabbed a pen or my makeup. Yes, he found my makeup that he's putting all over the mirror in the bedroom. Yes. So there we go. But sidebar for a second. I've heard other shows where they've had construction work being done or other problems, and you know what? This is not a problem.
No,
this is
not.
Simply adorable. Sometimes he'll come in here and play with my crystals, and he will hide them throughout the house. So I really believe that Hudson is an old soul and that he knows what they mean. So, okay. Today my morning live is going to be about habits and about habit stacking. And yesterday's was very, very powerful. And I don't know if you saw them. And if you don't see them in the different groups, you can always pop into my Facebook page. It's or check YouTube. They're all on my YouTube channel. But yesterday's was about, and I want to ask you this one. What would you do if I gave you $1,440?
Yes, I saw that. I think that's it was, I think I would invest it into my business. I would invest it into my growth in my business, or that type of thing. For more growth, automation, or support VA. Hi there, Hudson. What a great name. Hi, beautiful. Oh, he's so charming. What a beauty. Oh, he's great.
He just did
Those
his
cool eyes.
Oh,
Yeah,
doesn't
you
he?
look
And
so
nobody
healthy.
has blue
Yeah.
eyes in the family. Not one of
Oh,
us.
wow, that's fantastic.
Yep.
So what would you do? What would you do?
Well,
Like what were some of the feedback that you got on that?
okay, so people that heard the whole thing, they realized that the comparison was more about energy in time. So 1,440 minutes is what we have every single day.
Yeah.
Right? So I can give you that kind of money, or I can let you know that you have that kind of opportunity available to you every single day to either make the money or to live your life or whatever that looks like. Because time is actually the highest commodity versus money and energy.
And exactly. Just this weekend, our company had a celebration in Orlando, and I'll just make this kind of sweet and short, but it's along those lines. And I watched it remotely, and the keynote speaker was Jesse Itzler, who is married to Sarah Blakely, and he's a big entrepreneur in his own right. You know who he is because you're an entrepreneur. And he talked about 5 different parts of his talk, and it was really riveting. But one of the pieces was, how are we using our time? We have time to sleep, we have time to eat, we have so he broke down like the minutes, like you said, the minutes, and he said we're not utilizing our time. I think maybe 30-40% of our time is like wasted. So you're talking about that minutes and that minutes every day. Let's up the ante on using our time wisely. I'm so glad you brought that up. This is almost probably prominent key point, and this is what he must do, like tons of these talks. This is top entrepreneur. This is what what we're talking about, hacking right now, time hacking, and you're talking about it today. This is on right now.
Well, and this is a
Yeah.
message that we all need to hear, because as we age, I don't care how old you are, as we age, time becomes more and more valuable.
Yeah.
And we think the younger we are that we have time for this, we have time for that, but we don't. The years go by quicker. And I did a podcast episode, or I did an episode on this once, and it was about the perspective. And there is a difference. When we're younger, birthdays took forever, Christmas took forever, vacations took forever, school felt forever. And that's because time was a perspective of our life. And we were young, so our perspective was different. But as we age, it goes by like that. I remember even when I was pregnant for my first child, it took forever, right? It felt like it was only 9 months. It's like everybody else. It was only 9 months. Well, not even, but whatever. But here's the thing. As we age, when we look back, and we now realize that time is a percentage of our life. It's not a perspective. So it is measured by a percentage as we age.
Yeah.
And we don't look at it that way. Subconsciously, this is what happens. And this is where learning our habits and habit stacking and being intentional with our life and making the right choices. So we're not sitting there on our deathbed regretting all of the things we didn't do. Mm-hmm. And it's not a morbid talk. It's literally about living our life, because we all think we're invincible. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This weekend, I bumped into, so on Saturday, I got super excited because we've had a very busy summer with Nathan getting ready to go up, and he was still playing junior varsity for Mustangs for football. So we've had a lot of football games here, there, and everywhere, 6-8 hour days at the field. And this Saturday, we didn't have any games. Mm-hmm. So I said to Tony, I'm like, so we get a morning Saturday date? And he looked at me like, yes, we do. And I'm like, do you want to go to the beach or the farmer's market? You pick, because I don't care. Either one of them will glow me up from the inside out. So we went to the farmer's market. We spent like an hour and a half in a small town talking to people and just really enjoying the vibes of the morning. And I bumped into an old girlfriend from high school who I'd not seen since her wedding, about 30 years. No, well, that's not true. How old am I? 49. So 20 plus years, maybe 25 years since I've seen her. She would have been married in her 20s, right? At some point. And maybe early 30s, but I think it's closer to 20, 25 years since I've seen her last. She said to me, why don't you come join us at the fair? I'm like, yeah, I have no plans. So I went and joined her and some old high school friends at a fair in a small town that I grew up in. But do we leave time in our schedule for moments like that?
Yeah.
for impromptu moments to go to the farmer's market or the beach and just enjoy what we have around us, the environment that we choose to be in with the people that we love, and then go and create more memories.
Yeah.
My memories were epic when I threw up, but
Mm.
I have vertigo and should not have done a ride. However, 4 days later, I'm able to laugh about it.
Mm.
Right?
Right.
It's vertigo, by the way, for anybody listening to this, and I'm not saying it's completely related, but mine didn't start to perimenopause.
Mm.
Another gift we get to look forward to, ladies. But that's the thing. We are juggling all of these things. We're empowering people. We have strengths and we have challenges. We have shadows that we hold on to as if other people are judging us, but they're so busy judging themselves that they're not paying attention to you unless they're threatened by you.
That's a good point. Yeah. So that's why it's important to like live your life with intention and purpose and passion, and people aren't really thinking about you that much, really. So just get creative and pour it out. We have lives to transform right now, and ourselves and
We
people.
do.
And
And you have to
Mhm.
create that space for living it intentionally and having fun.
And
Um,
yeah.
and
Well,
weaving that in.
it is true. If you look at the whole like mandala of our lives, we have contribution, spirituality, health, wellness, fun is really one of them, pleasure, personal, and fun. Like that's a part of probably the Richard Branson model of a really successful entrepreneur. He wakes up and he just windsurfs. He lives on an island. He invites people and collaborates, and he has fun, and he's so successful. Maybe we could challenge ourselves to have more fun that will raise the vibration. Is that what
Yes.
you're saying,
Yes.
Sonya? Like, raise the vibration. That's probably a big pillar for you. That's why I see you as, oh, she's having fun, right? So why not like this, you would
I
have a
went
little bit more fun.
paddleboarding.
So sure.
I
Yeah.
went moonlight paddleboard, or not, wasn't quite moonlight, but I went paddleboarding last Thursday night on a full moon with my daughter, two of my girlfriends. It's my
Oh,
second time this year I've done that. And I hate to say this, but I made a choice from my very best friend to these other people. And it was me that reached out and said, I want to go paddleboarding on a full moon. It's cool. And I want to do it again. And I want to be on the water. And this is knowing who you are. Could I have risked a relationship? Sure, but not with her. We are way past that. For some people, if that would have upset them, it's like, no, you know what? I need to do this. I want to do this. I need the fun in my life.
so fun is up. Yeah.
Fun matters to me.
Yeah. That's
I
a
will have fun in
value.
my day. Yeah.
That's a value. That's your business. That's probably part of your brand, right?
It is part of my brand because there's thousands of coaches out there. And obviously there's something that separates all of us from one another.
Yeah.
Confidence, energy, the fun factor. In my case, the vulnerability, being authentic, being real. I mean, I don't know how many other coaches will tell you that they threw up on a ride 4 days ago, or that they haven't showered yet on today's show. But you know what? I will shower. Don't get me wrong. It's not the point. It's the point. If you meet me, when you meet me in person, I am the exact same person, and that's what I want for the people who I work with. That's where I want for the people in my circle. I want them to feel so comfortable being who they are that they forget that they're not acting. Because our souls are connected. And I know I've said this twice, but this is what matters. So I saw something last week when I was doing my my morning reflections. And I don't know if I've shared this with you, but every morning, and again, I've yet to do this just because some days don't work out. There's a great saying, religious or not, there's a great saying. And I shared this with my husband this week. And if you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans. Because your plans might be different than his plans, and his plans rule. Like I said, whether you're religious or not, you get the joke, right? So I do something called reflections every day. I pull some oracle cards and I pull up in my Angel book and I write what they mean to me. And one of the messages that came out loud and clear last week that spoke volumes to me was, when you are quiet enough, or when you are in a space to listen to your intuition, that is your soul's way of communicating to you.
Yeah.
And it's powerful. And now I share these messages to people just like you do in your own way of delivering. So let's, oh, go ahead.
No. The spiritual, I mean, I'm very spiritual in that way too. And I've been in this last this year doing a little bit of deep dive spiritually with somebody like a coach mentor. And we have to tune into our intuition too. Like our intuition is really important as female leaders, as women leaders. So it's really a big piece of our journey. We can't separate that out.
We can't.
Let's
And
tap into like you, Sonya, like your oracle card for the morning, those type of things. And the intuition, where should I put my energy? What should I write my newsletter? Like tune in first. And those are going to be, that's important too. I
and
agree.
again, we weren't
Totally too.
raised that, most of us in North America were not raised that way.
No.
And I was raised that you don't talk about politics or religion. And I know Americans are a little bit different. They're a lot more vocal in terms of Canadians when it comes to politics and their religion. However, I'm not saying there's not Canadians like that too, just I wasn't raised like that. So it took me a long time to open up and talk about spirituality and to even admit it to myself.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
the one thing I'm not is a sheep.
Good.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm not a sheep. I am the leader. I am not a
Yeah,
sheep.
yes,
Okay.
the leader, like that is, we are team leaders
We are
now.
leaders.
And that
Yes.
happens, the talk over the weekend, too, was the theme of time, team leaders. We are team leaders.
Yes.
So
People look to us
that's a
for
whole nother
inspiration.
conversation.
It is,
That
and
would be
that's
a
where I
whole,
hesitate. But it's because I know I'm opening up a can of worms here. But the thing,
no, it's
what
good.
makes you and I different is we are not sheep.
Yeah, we're leaders.
We're leaders. We're marching to the beat of our own drum. So we are trying to find what works for us. We are literally, and I'm going to take a moment here and pat myself on the back, but we are literally designing our life our way. And this is my quarterly planner that I put together, that I use, that I write on. But the
Oh
point
my
is,
God.
oh, you didn't know?
That
I
was,
didn't. I thought I showed you this last
no,
week,
no,
but
no, I did see it. Yeah.
so
So
there's a
yeah,
section right here for anybody that's seen this, and it says the things I need to do each day. Take inspired
yeah.
action, journal, affirmation, reflections, movement, gratitude, money in, money out, personal development.
Yeah.
The mindset or the meditation isn't on here because it's so second nature now, but I just make a personal note. So designing your life your way is what it's all about. And yes, that needs to include owning what spirituality means to you. Whether you believe in the chakra system, which is where I do a lot of my work, or whether you go to church and practice believing in God or Buddha, like I just mentioned 2 different types of practices there that I incorporate. But for anybody that's truly open, you will know, even oracle cards, they talk about God, and they talk about chakras, and they bring up numerology, and they talk about angels, and they talk about spirit in the universe. It's at the end of the day, it's about believing in something more.
Yeah.
In that that, and where that makes a big difference is when those days are dark, it's a simple message that this too shall pass. I got some news earlier this week about my dad, and he's okay now. But I think in my heart, I know what the end game is, and I'm not trying to put the cart before the horse, and I don't want to say anything. But when I even found out what the basic conversation was between him and my mom and the doctor on Monday, now my dad's generally awesome health, 76 years old. They act like they're children for the most part. They have as much energy almost as I do. No, not really, but they want to. So, I mean, even having that will is huge because most people don't have that will to have that kind of energy and live life. My parents can still help take care of my grandson, their great grandson. And I literally felt, and this is hard to explain, but I literally felt like I was being carried by angels for those 24 hours after that. Because I wasn't thinking straight. I wasn't anything. I was being carried. And that is something I would never have even been able to feel or admit to in the past, let alone say out loud, let alone say publicly. So who's ever listening to this, don't be afraid to be who you are from the inside out, because you've been afraid your whole life to be that person. And that's why you're not right now.
Yes, good. That's beautiful. Go for it. Yes, be who you authentically are meant to be. And if you're spiritual, be spiritual. If you're go-getter, be ambitious, go-getter. No apologies here. Let's
No
do it.
apologies, just own it. Okay, so we're
Yeah.
gonna wrap this up because I know I've got another meeting coming up in just a few minutes. So I would like to ask you, and I'm gonna ask you 5 questions, maybe 6 questions. We're gonna go real quick here.
Okay.
Tell me about meals. Like, so I'd like to talk about meals, movement, mindset, and your relationship with money. Okay, so let's quickly talk about meals. What do you think is your biggest hiccup when it comes to meals? I'm going to ask you that direct question instead of leaving it open.
Go fast. Okay, yeah, the meals at the beginning of the year, I've actually enlisted a nutritionist, and I got really clear on meals, and I had to pull out all the gluten. I realized it was really dragging me down, and I felt like I was doing more self-love now. I was taking care of my body with less gluten, and I did more probiotic morning tonics, cellular tonics. I'm drinking chicory root tea, which is my coffee now. Like, I've just changed everything. Here's it's Frida Kahlo, because she is a beautiful artist, and has fought through lots of pain and actually achieved some beauty, right? And so my meals have now been really focused on organic as much as possible, less grain. So it's just gotten a little more high fusion, intuitive for me. So, and fish, I'm not a vegan, but certain fish. And so I've gotten to be a really good cook, use cumin seed. It's been really exciting, actually.
So can I tell you what my biggest takeaway is when you just said all of that about meals?
Yeah.
First of all, you lit up.
Oh, okay.
Second of all, you did not say anything about weight loss.
That
is powerful.
That's true. And that was my goal when I went in. I said, you got to help me lose a little weight. But it wasn't really, by the time I was done, it was more about good nutrition.
That is powerful. And that should be your biggest takeaway. It has nothing to do, weight loss, we need to get rid of that. And that, again, is a separate conversation for a separate day. But I wanted to bring to your attention how beautiful your statements were there when we talked about meals. Movement. Tell me about movement.
Movement. I've always been about movement, freestyle movement. I like to wake up and get on the earth if I can, and also do some yoga, fusion, get in the pool. But movement, I like wearing flowy things sometimes because I just like to move and flow. So movement it could be a nice walk, so movement every day, I think, is just key. Keep that vitality going in all different ways.
Do you move your body every day?
Oh, yeah. Either walking, even if it's a small, amount of time, movement is totally key, or some type of yoga, or some type of even, Tai Chi type of thing, anything, just breathing and movement, prana. Yeah.
Love that. I love that. Mindset. Now, we actually spent most of today talking about mindset, so we're not going to dive too much here, but is there anything different than what we talked about today with mindset?
No, I talked about following top leaders who've actually accomplished things, and I want to emulate them. And that's a mindset, because a lot of them talk about mindset and anchoring with, that the neuro tools. And I've done some work with the ICANN Institute with Deb Erickson, that those meditations and those, it's really kind of flow, even flow dreaming, I think it's called, with Summer McStravick. It's almost not meditations, but they're just mindset type of, how can we incorporate a new attitude in our mind of that we can do it.
Yep. And I love, Jane, how you had mentioned that mindset can be personal development, and it can be following and watching. We also talked about affirmations. We also talked about reflection. We also talked about meditation. Mindset falls into so many different categories, 100%. All right.
And
money.
Money.
What's your relationship with money?
Oh, I always have to challenge myself and work through my money story, and knowing that I can go for my desires. And why can't we have more money? Why can't I have more desire for more things and better things? So I think of like T. Harv Eker of spirituality and money. It's a big topic. I could be spiritual and have money. So, money is a good thing and the energy of money. So I'm always working through that. So I'm ready to up level on my money as well. So probably better money mantras and things like that. But that type of mindset.
I have an amazing one I will share with you. Maybe what I'll do, remind me, but maybe what I'll do is when I go to post this, I will put my money mantra in with the posting.
Do that.
Okay.
Yeah. The crown chakra of it all, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, as we're gonna end up on this, before I go too far, before we end up on this last question, my coffee cup says, I am a mom. To save time, let's just assume that I'm never wrong. My youngest daughter gave me this last year for my birthday, and I have a vivid coffee cup collection that when people come over, they're like, and I'm like, pick. You get to pick whatever speaks to you. Last week on my personal pot, like on my show, I went live on YouTube and I talked about my coffee cup analogy, and it's called Living with Intention is the episode number 113. And if you haven't heard it yet, you're going to want to circle back and listen to it. It is very powerful as to my coffee cup story and what it leads to and how it started and why I always have a coffee cup as part of my shows, as part of my lives.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you, and I am hoping on interviewing 10 different ambitious entrepreneurs. So I'm not going to take too long on this. What is standing in your way as an ambitious entrepreneur?
I think letting go of the past. I think just letting go of the past, that doesn't serve me anymore. And I think it just would be all in my own, just mine. And I think it would be that, just getting out of my own way, because I feel like I'm ready to expand. So it would just be letting go, then not having to, hold on to the past. Stepping into a new version of the self is, I think, what the key for me.
Okay.
So nothing is standing in my way really than me, right?
Ding, ding, ding. But you were actually very specific. So what that tells me, I'm gonna do a little coaching session here. What that tells me is this might be a very fitting time to do a vision board party together.
Oh, yes.
So we can see what that future version of you looks like. So we can let go of the past through shadow work or by habit stacking.
Yeah, habit stacking and vision board. I think that would be fantastic. So, because that allows you to just say, this is my vision. This is what I'm going for. And so forth. Yeah.
And then keeping those inspired tools like a book like this. Yes, I'm going back to my book, but here's why. Every single day, here's a page in the book and it says there's an affirmation, and you write down your affirmation before you even start your day. And you go through this every single day before you go too far. And you are setting yourself up for success as the future version of you.
Yes, this is stepping up. Next chapter, setting up for success. I agree. That's a good coaching moment.
There we go.
Thank you for that. It's got to have an action step, right? Yeah, thank you,
Jane,
Sonya.
will you do us all a favor? Will you share with us how we can find you? And then send me that information afterwards, and I will make sure that I include it when I get everything put together.
I will. Okay. So if anybody hearing this, just my website is Jane Morba, JaneMorba.com. You can find me on Instagram at Jane_Morba, and just send me a DM and we'll go from there. Really.
Awesome.
And I do have a group called Stellar Visibility Leaders. It's a Facebook group. So I will be, putting in some action steps about being more visible, but so you could be a leader too, and we can rock it together. And our even if it's on our direct sales business or just being more visible, but I am looking to grow more leaders with me, builders and leaders, and be in health and wellness. So connect with me. Thank you,
it's
Sonya.
So much more. And I was going to say, connecting with the right people is so much more powerful than just joining their team. It is so multidimensional that
connecting with the right people. That's so true.
Yeah. People
Yeah.
that are going to help you learn and grow and step into that next version of you. And it's irrelevant if they've known who you were, because they believe in what you're capable of almost more than you do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, they have your back. They see you. They see your potential, and that's what it's all about. So, I definitely feel more aligned to that too. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
your time. It's a pleasure to have you on this show. I'm definitely looking forward to meeting you
Yeah.
and for doing this and again another day. And I will be including all of your contact information on here.
Okay.
And you and I will be in touch shortly.
All right. Thank you, Sonya. Have a fabulous day. Thank you.
Thanks.
You're awesome.